go over there. Hi, kitty. Did you read the essay I wrote? I had to refresh after I wrote that. Yeah, Code of Death, the whole Cthulhu is the old god of chaos and madness, his cards are legendary, etc., etc. Yeah, that one I read. Thank you very much for that. It's good to sort of figure out what's going on. Is that a heart? That is a heart. That is a vein system of a human being. Wow. What is going on here? So that is a lung? So you're obsessed with branching things. Hearts, lungs, cracks? What type of art is skeleton like? Sculptures? Nice, very nice. Sculptures. Okay, Indy, I am done cuddling you. I want to play a video game. Oh, is that a little village? Ah, my hand's covered in fur. Wait, so where is this leading? There we go. See, I activated this. Oh, that opened this gate. Ah, so that's why after I figured it out, it shows me indeed you had a good thought. Congratulations. So, where does this lead me other than... Okay, so this is, I'm assuming then just the enjoyment of having solved this. Or is there a little audio cue that I can get from here? If this were your stream, Vayne would get a free permaban. Wow, Killer of Death. Wow. No. I appreciate good silly puns. I am all for those. I don't know if you were you here when I did well, that seems like a clue. Yeah, you were here when I did Undertale, right? Where we had Sans the Skeleton, that was his name. Sans the Skeleton give us loads and loads of puns. That was hilarious. Let's go around the side here. Because just now, we sort of spotted, if I could go past here, a little village. So many pathways here. I wonder if there's any way that we can see sort of a completion status. Nice. Yeah, some kind of completion status. How many quests we completed, how many puzzles we done. Yeah, see, there we go. That is the mill that I was just near. So I could go up. Ah, there we go. That's definitely a little village I've seen. Now, this is what I've already completed. Ah, so it could have just gone left here. Okay. Okay, so that is... Just trying to make sure I explore and get a good sense of my surroundings. Figure out exactly where I am. So that is what I've also already solved. Let's have a quick run to the right here. Just to see whether I'm not missing anything in a little nook or cranny. Aw. Hi there, doggy. You're my favorite customer. I wonder what those are. Frisian separatist, burn them at the stake. Jexus, burn the separatist, burn the loyalist. Burn all of them. Make sure that in Europa Universalis they all worship you. Okay. If you pause and hit load game, it gives a puzzle count. Digital Kid does it now. But... Oh. 73 solved. Well now. That's cool. Thanks, Digital Kid. At the very least I know then that I have 73 solved, and I wonder how many of them there are. Okay. Let's deal with this then. Finally, he's settling down. Ah, good kitty. Oh, good kitty. Actually, he has a little bit of a watery eye. You had such a watery eye, buddy. A little bit worried about that cat. I should have a better look at him later. I don't know whether he's, you know, he has a... Oh. Oh, I can have it turn left or right, probably then, eh? Ah, that's interesting. There we go. I'm sure it's nothing, but, you know, always be a little bit careful. Cats are tricky like that. They will never show you exactly what's going on with them. Even a cat in pain is... cats will hide it. Cats will not cry out or... Well, I mean, they will, you know, cry out in pain if they're hurt at that exact second, but if they're just generally hurt, as in they're sick or their stomach hurts or who knows what, they will not actually cry out or, you know, let you know that something is really amiss. And that is... I moved that camera earlier and I wasn't happy with how it's going. And that is difficult. They'll just tend to, you know, have small things like, are their irises open wide or are they in slits? Do they sit still? Do they eat? Hey, hello, I recognize you. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be tricky. We're gonna do this. Nice, Raiden. Everything in this game is a puzzle. Door handles, light switches. Why didn't you flush the toilet, Bill? I couldn't figure out the puzzle, okay? Yeah, that would... I'm imagining that is exactly how life would be in this game. Does this work? Yeah. Huh. Okay. So there's a video presentation that I get if I'm here, huh? Also, more puzzles for our next door. As well as that little arrow thing. I've seen that before. But I haven't... again, it was ripped off. Now, wait, what was that? That was a new one. Wait, why am I not seeing that? I think that's... Wait. Ah. Oh, that's what that is. That's why I couldn't see that. That is Sergnum hosting me. Awesome. Thank you very much, Serg. I was wondering, what is this? Why am I not hearing this? Why am I not seeing this anywhere? But that's what that is. That's a new alert I've put up there. Sergnum always with the hosts. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, Serg. Good to see you in the channel again. How are you doing? It's been a while since I've been able to watch your streams. As you know, I've been off for a while. Huh. That's a solution. It looks like these are passcodes. And I don't have the passcode for this one. I had a passcode for something else. Killer of Death with the host. Thank you. I really appreciate the support, guys. It's awesome that you're doing that. This is a new type puzzle. I have not learned how to solve this yet. And to be honest, so is this. I think I'm gonna have to get back to this bit. I think this is a little bit too far. Surgnum's about to collapse. Worked all day, no coffee, ready for nap. Oh, that sounds rough, Surgnum. That sounds very rough. I can imagine having a good nap time, though. Good nap usually solves quite a bit. It was, in fact, one of the things that, if I recall correctly, kept Rene Descartes up. Well, not so much up as down, I suppose, but he was rumored to very often... Are you juggling? Very often to take long naps. Had a good nap today as well, Vaden? Ah, you luxuriating people. I cannot nap. I have to sleep, I don't nap. So this is a juggler, but did he turn to stone immediately? How? Yeah, Killer, I did write those hexagons down, but they didn't match. They did not match. How about we go back and have another look, though, just to be, you know, just to check. That is ominous, though. Yeah, let's run back. Where did I see those? They were in a bunker. Now I remember. So yeah, Surgnum, I have noticed that you have been streaming a lot of Mario Maker recently. How's the Final Fantasy thing coming along? I mean, don't get me wrong, Mario Maker is all the fun, but I can't resist those JRPGs. There we go, that's where I found them, see? I think I wrote them down incorrectly. There we go. Let's be a little bit more careful. Oh, let's also not break my retractable pencil. There we go. I guess I was a little bit sloppy in the way I noted that down. It was mostly accurate, but mostly doesn't do it for us. As you know what they say, they mostly come out at night. Mostly. There we go. Okay, now let's go again. This was in the middle over there, not on the edge. And then it was one up. Side. There. Down. There. Down. Now, I'm gonna have to assume that this will possibly be the other way around as well. I'm noting that down like that, but it might be down there. It might be any of those orientations. So let's try and find that out. Let's head back and see if that is a combination for us. There we go. Yeah, I very much appreciate that most of these puzzles are either very clear, sort of easy to do, or they immediately sort of give you a hint of, hey, we're using a mechanic you haven't seen before. Like those other ones that I saw there, which are basically a hint of, sure, you could solve them, but you'd have to figure out what they are. There we go. Hey, Surgam, I never actually asked either. What line of work are you in? If you don't mind talking about that. Let's see now. It was one on the side. There we go. That's the problem. It was on its side. If I assume that that's the one we needed, we need to move like that, and move on over, and that'll be the one.
Well, that's no better a solution than any of the others, is it?
No.
So, in the end, have we learned anything from this look at why the world turned out the way it did that's of any use to us in our future? Something, I think. That the key to why things change is the key to everything. How easy is it for knowledge to spread? And that in the past, the people who made change happen were the people who had that knowledge, whether they were craftsmen or kings. Today, the people who make things change, the people who have that knowledge, are the scientists and the technologists who are the true driving force of humanity. And before you say, what about the Beethovens and the Michelangelos? Let me suggest something with which you may disagree violently.
I want to see this
That at
video,
best,
whatever this
the
is.
products of human emotion, art, philosophy, politics, music, literature,
All the good things in life.
are interpretations of the world that tell you more about the guy who's talking than about the world he's talking about. Second-hand views of the world, made third-hand by your interpretation of them.
That is true.
Things
yeah.
like that, as opposed to this. Know what it is? It's a bunch of amino acids. The stuff that goes to build
That's
up
also an
a
interpretation,
worm,
though.
or a geranium, or you. This stuff's easier to take, isn't it? Understandable. Got people in it. This, scientific knowledge, is hard to take because it removes the reassuring crutches of opinion, ideology, and leaves only what is demonstrably true about the world. And the reason why so many people may be thinking about throwing away those crutches is because, thanks to science and technology, they have begun to know that they don't know so much.
That is true.
And that if they are to have more say in what happens to their lives, more freedom to develop their abilities to the full, they have to be helped towards that knowledge that they know exists and that they don't possess. And by help towards that knowledge, I don't mean give everybody a computer and say, help yourself. Where would you even start? No, I mean trying to find ways to translate the knowledge, to teach us to ask the right questions. See, we're on the edge of a revolution in communications technology that is going to make that more possible than ever before.
To find pictures of cats where you
Or,
didn't expect them
if
before.
that's not done, to cause an explosion of knowledge that will leave those of us who don't have access to it as powerless as if we were deaf, dumb, and blind. And I don't think most people want that. So what do we do about it? I don't know. But maybe a good start would be to recognize within yourself the ability to understand anything, because that ability is there, as long as it's explained clearly enough.
As a teacher, I
And
absolutely
then
agree
go
with that.
and ask for explanations. And if you're thinking right now, what do I ask for? Ask yourself if there's anything in your life that you want changed. That's where to start.
Ah, lovely. Yesterday, tomorrow, and you. Huh. BBC, awesome, of course. The thing I definitely disagree with, though, is his clear separation between science and art. Because, oh, that's cool. Yeah, this bit where he's claiming that this is less open to interpretation than this. But then again, that's not a photograph. That's a colored interpretation of something. And the fact is still, he's claiming as though that is objective, whereas this is, by virtue of being created by us, subjective. This is also, in essence, created by us. But even if it weren't, it's still interpreted by our eyes and our ears, which shape information in a very specific way. And it's still interpreted by our brains. The best example of this is wait, is it? Oh, is this backwards? This is. Yeah, see, this is rewinding. Okay, the best example of that is. Oh, that's literally me being able to rewind it.
That's no better a solution than any of the others, is it?
But yeah, it's.
In the end, have we learned anything?
Oh, that's creepy.
Why the world turned out the way it did? Is there anything to us now?
Yeah, as I was saying, the suggestion that nothing else is open to interpretation as much. Everything is still interpreted. So even though you might imagine that there's something which is incontrovertibly true, you know, I can still imagine it. I can still be insane. I can still see something in a different way. It's just, you know, the most... it's something you can measure and assume that that might be right. Yeah, this one I still need to figure out. Vanen, I do like that one as well, yeah.
Products of human emotion, art,
The one I wonder
philosophy,
is
politics, music, literature, are
why all these
interpretations
other
of the
screens
world.
are here.
That
I
tell you
think
more
this
about
is a place I'm gonna have to get back to. Such a tease, such a tease. Since the reason why I'm saying is I need to come back to that is I'm imagining there's could be a set of other videos there, considering I have a number of those that I can still rewind. Playbox! Good to see you there. Indeed, I'm in on a Friday. I'm doing a quick stream in between since I arrived back home. Is it right below here? Yeah, since I'm just back from the Czech Republic, so I figured I haven't been able to stream for a while. Let's just give you a stream right now. Statement though that artistic rendering say more about the artist, while rendering from science say more about the world. Well, Vaden, not really. Oh yeah, that was... Okay, I'm gonna interrupt this. Yeah, that's what I was still saying, because that is still not true. The example was mine counting systems. A whole while back, I'm thinking this was somewhere in perhaps in the 70s or so, they discovered mine art, which were remainders, bits of rope, bits of colored rope that were knotted together very, very interestingly, sort of like a weave. So they presented it as this is mine art. And it was only later that they discovered that actually the colors of the ropes, the amount of knots, and depending on how the knots were bound together, was actually a counting system. The colors of the ropes indicated different digits. The number of knots indicated amounts of those digits, and the way they were intertwined could indicate sort of different multiplications, etc. So even though you might say that was a scientific interpretation of the world, you know, mathematics in essence, it's still the interpretation, a human brain that has to give meaning to that. So in the end, that's sort of a demonstration of how the idea of that kind of objectivity, of you know, saying something about the world, isn't true. It's still the mind that thinks about what that's supposed to represent. So even there, you know, if you think about a photograph, or, you know, the type of image that he gave, an image of amino acids and its representation, it still says as much about the person taking that picture as it does, as it does, you know, the actual thing we get from it, the representation of the world. This fell down, so this will likely represent, or at least interact with something I don't see here. Huh, that's interesting. Let's figure something out here. Suppose the best art is a third-hand interpretation, science would be second-hand interpretation. Oh, Baden, I would strongly disagree with that to begin with. By the way, Playbox, good that you're here. I wanted to give you another message back as well. Last week has been busier than I thought, so I'm going to have to look at some of those things that you sent on tomorrow and get back to you on that. Seriously, I think it was every day until about 10 p.m. Getting up early, working on until 10 p.m. That was It's a much rougher week. I brought so much stuff to do. And I just didn't get around to anything. So is it the idea that I separate all of these colors? Yeah, that still doesn't separate those. Huh. I don't see a clear way of separating all of these. That's curious. It's very curious. Now this is interesting. This is still... These are still things that I should be able to solve, I'm thinking. But I don't know how just yet, because I don't know what I should be looking at. 3 to... You know, what I should be looking at, where the hint is to solve these. Now, this looks like it fell down. But where exactly? No, it must have been somewhere up there, but... Huh. Question is, where do I find the hint to be able to solve that? Now this at least is already a first introduction to those different types of puzzles. If you look here... Yeah, just separating these is not enough. Okay, let's see if we can find the hint that we need to solve this. Wait, hello? Is that... Wait a minute, that is the video room, right? That's why I heard it when it was up here. That's the video room from above. It looks as though... It almost looks as though something is supposed to pour in there. That is weird. Okay, now this... Let's eye this. This is going to be the most basic thing, since this is just the one. So we're going to have to figure out what that symbol means, what they want us to do, and then work on from there. Ah, now we're getting somewhere. I'm happy with this. So far it's been a little bit too easy. So I wonder... This little Tetris block, do I make that shape and then move on? What do you want me to do here? It's not a case of clearly moving on. So what do you want me to do here? 1 is 4. Now I've already tested... Yeah, so that doesn't work. Just activating all 4 of these. Wait. My mouse starting to act weird. Always happens when it gets clogged with Indy's hair. So it's not a case of making that shape. How about I completely void it? No? Do I... No, this is something I've already done. Huh. What do you want me to do with this? Completely avoiding it isn't an option. Okay, let's see if there's something